Hello everyone, welcome to our science session. In this session, we are going to learn about chapter number 6, combustion and flame. Okay children, we use different kinds of fuel for various purposes at home, in industry and for automobiles, isn't it? And if I ask you a question, can you name some fuels used in our homes? Can you name some fuels used in industry? And what fuels are used for running automobiles? If I ask questions like this, you may list different fuels like cow dung, wood, coal, charcoal, petrol, diesel, compressed natural gas, that is CNG, etc. Isn't it? So these different types of fuels are used for various purposes at homes, in industry, and for running automobiles. Isn't it, children? So in this lesson, we are going to learn about what is combustion, combustible and non-combustible substances, types of combustion, how do we control fire, like we are going to learn in detail about fire extinguisher, then about flame, that is about structure of flame, then what is fuel, about fuel efficiency and harmful effects of burning fuels. Okay children, so about these different topics we are going to learn in this chapter, combustion and flame. So let's start with examples. You may know about burning of a candle, and what is the difference between burning of a candle and burning of fuel like coal? So we know that candle burns with a flame, isn't it? When you burn candle, lit candle, candle burns with a flame. Whereas if you burn coal, coal does not have any flame, isn't it? So whereas coal does not have any flame. Similarly, you may find many other materials. They burn without flame. So now let's study the chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during this process. Got children? So now we are going to learn about chemical process of burning and the types of flame produced during the process of burning. So in standard 7, we have seen this activity, that is when we lit a magnesium ribbon. This you have seen it, isn't it? When we when we burn magnesium ribbon, magnesium, it burns brightly and it forms magnesium oxide, that white ash like substance. What do you call that as? Magnesium oxide. And also it produces heat and light. So you may see in the picture, magnesium, see how it burns with a bright light, as well as it produces, after it completes its burning, you may have a white ash-like substance, what it is called as magnesium oxide. And during this process of burning, it produces heat as well as light. The same way, we can perform the similar activity with a piece of charcoal. And what we have to do is hold the piece of charcoal with a pair of tongs and bring it near the flame of a candle or any Bunsen burner, like burner, which we have it in our laboratory. And if you bring that, hold the piece of charcoal near the flame of candle or burner, what do you observe? We find that charcoal burns. isn't it? Burns. For burning, what is essential? Oxygen. Yes, burns in air and it produces carbon dioxide. Charcoal is carbon, isn't it? So carbon in presence of oxygen, we have learned that it produces carbon dioxide, heat and light. So magnesium, when it burns, magnesium ribbon, when it burns in air, it produces heat and light and we get magnesium oxide. So chemical equation for burning of magnesium, how do you write? Magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide plus heat and light. If you use that chemical formula for magnesium is Mg plus oxygen O2, Mg plus O2 gives MgO. That if you balance, you will get that, that is balancing the product and the reactant at the left side and product is at the right hand side. So both should be equal. So it is 2 Mg plus O2 gives 2 MgO plus heat and light. Similarly, when we burn charcoal in air, it produces carbon dioxide, heat and light. So if we write the chemical equation for burning of coal, charcoal, we get carbon plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus heat and light. The same chemical reaction, equation, if you use symbols, carbon C. So plus C plus O2 gives CO2 plus heat and light. So in this reaction, what we understood is chemical processes in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat is called as combustion. Got children? Combustion is nothing but burning, isn't it? So a chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat and light or heat is called as combustion. And the substance that undergoes combustion is said to be combustible substance. So these combustible substance is nothing but called as a fuel. And here what two examples we have seen is magnesium ribbon is a substance that undergo combustion. So magnesium ribbon is combustible, as well as charcoal is also combustible. Both are nothing but called as a fuel. The fuel, so maybe either solid or liquid or gas. They may be in any state, solid, liquid or gas. Sometimes light is also given off during combustion, either as flame or as a glow. It is not particular flame, or it may get like some brightness, what we call that as glow. So in the reaction mentioned above, magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. Okay, children, now you understood what do you mean by combustion? Is nothing but a process, chemical process in which substance reacts with oxygen to give off light and heat is called as combustion. Isn't it the same way? What is combustible substance? The substance that undergoes combustion is called as combustible substance. Here, two examples what we have learned when magnesium ribbon burns as well as charcoal. So both magnesium and charcoal are combustible substances. And we were already told that that is food is a fuel for our body. Can we say that way? Fuel, food, what we eat is called as a fuel for our body. Yes, we can tell. Why? Because in our body, food is broken down. That is during after digestion, food is broken down with the help of oxygen. It produces heat. That is, energy is produced in the form of heat. So we can call that as food is said to be a fuel for our body. Got children? So we get energy in the form of heat after food is broken down with the help of oxygen. Got it? So we can tell food is a fuel for our body. Now let's find out whether the given substances are combustible or not. We know what do you mean by combustible substances, isn't it? So collect some materials like straw, that is dry grass, isn't it? Straw, matchsticks, kerosene, kerosene oil, paper, iron nails, stone pieces, glass, etc. So these are some materials given to you. You have to find out whether the given substance is combustible or not. So what do you mean by combustion or combustible substance? The substance which undergo combustion means which gets burned in presence of oxygen. It is going to be combustion. So how do we find out? We have to do that activity, isn't it? So under the supervision of our elders, your parents, we have to try to burn each of these materials one by one. If combustion takes place, mark the material as combustible, otherwise mark it as non-combustible. So we could found that wood gets burnt, isn't it? So wood is said to be combustible. Paper, is it paper burn? Yes, paper is also combustible. And if you keep iron nail on the flame, will it be burnt? No. So it is said to be non-combustible. Kerosene oil, yes, it is combustible. Stone piece will not burn, so it is non-combustible. Straw, that is dry grass. What do you call that as? Straw. Straw is said to be combustible. Charcoal, we have seen that it burns, so it is combustible. Matchstick, yes, it is combustible. And glass, if you try to burn glass, it will not burn, so it is said to be non-combustible. So in this way, we can classify whether the given material is combustible or non-combustible. So if you see here, we can find out combustible materials like paper, wood, kerosene, diesel, petrol, etc. And non-combustible materials are like glass, some metals, ceramics, etc. So these are all, this way we can classify combustible and non-combustible. So children, till now we have learnt about what is combustion. Combustion is a chemical process in which substance reacts with oxygen and produce or generates heat, is called as combustion. What are combustible substances? Combustible substances are those substances that undergoes combustion. It means that substances gives off heat and sometimes light as flame or glow when they react with oxygen, are called as combustible substances. And what are non-combustible substances? Those substances that do not undergo combustion or that do not burn are said to be non-combustible substances. And now let's learn about conditions necessary for the combustion to take place. Do combustion takes place in every way, any condition? No, certain conditions are there. So now let's see what are the conditions necessary for combustion to take place. First, combustion requires fuel. Combustion only takes place when there is fuel. Fuel, we know that what is combustible substance, isn't it? It should be there, which produces heat and light when it catches fire. For example, petrol, diesel, coal, kerosene, etc. And also combustion requires heat and combustion requires air. So these are the conditions. So first it should have fuel, requires heat and requires air. So these are the conditions necessary for combustion to take place. We can prove that is with the help of following experiment. That is, combustion requires air. So for that, let us do this activity. First, we have to fix a lighted candle on a table, put a glass chimney over the candle, and rest it on the chimney should rest on a few wooden blocks in such a way that air can enter the chimney. Chimney has both the ends open. Got it? Now you can see the figure A. Observe what happens to the flame. Now remove the wooden blocks. And now let the chimney rest on the table, completely rest on the table. So one side of the chimney is completely closed. And now see that figure B. Now again observe about the flame, what happens to the flame. And now finally put a glass plate or some wooden or that cardboard paper, whatever it is available, on the top of the chimney. And now watch the flame again. What happens in the three cases? Now, does the flame flicker off, or does it flicker and give smoke, or does it burn unaffected? What happens? So in all the three cases, we find that for combustion, air is necessary. So in case of A, figure A, if you see that the candle burns freely. Why? Because air can enter the chimney from this below. Got it? And in case of B, when air does not enter the chimney from below, because we have removed that wooden block, the flame flickers, means it stops little and it produces smoke. And in case C, the flame finally goes off because a completely air is not available, because we have covered the top of the chimney also with some glass plate, isn't it? So as air is not available, it completely goes off. So from this experiment, we understood that for combustion, air, that is oxygen, is essential. And we have read that sun produces its own heat and light, isn't it? Is it also a kind of combustion? Yes, in the sun, heat and light are produced by nuclear reactions. And about this nuclear reaction, how it produces heat and light, we will be learning about this process in higher classes. Okay, children. So till now, we have learnt about the substances which burn in air are called combustible. Oxygen is essential for combustion. That is, air is essential for combustion. And during the process of combustion, heat and light are given out. And combustible substances are those substances that undergo combustion. That means the substances gives off heat and sometimes light as flame or glow when they react with oxygen. And non-combustible substances are those substances that do not undergo combustion or burn. Okay, children, and in next session, we will continue in detail about this other part of the chapter in a detailed manner. That's all for this session. Thank you.